You as a candidate would consider it normal to be able to pass job interviews based on your subject matter expertise and to some extent your interviewing skills. Okay. On the other side, for high-performing companies, they should have all the interest in the world to hire the best candidates and as quickly as possible. Now, what happens these days when the market is turning from a candidate to an employer-driven market, I found that getting hired into FAANGs has gotten significantly more expensive. Okay, and if I may just define what do I mean by expensive. So first is time. Okay, so going through an interview process with a FAANG takes considerably longer than it used to. Okay, you might have 1 or 2 or 3 screening rounds. You might get reassigned in the process to do those screening rounds. There is a bit of delay. Furthermore, even to schedule your final interview rounds, I've heard of timelines longer than 1 month, only to have that interview scheduled. So long story short, it might take upwards of 2 months to go through an interview process, only to go through an interview process, not to get a screening round. And I'm not talking about the previous rounds and after that, the negotiation, stuff like that. So over 2 months only to go to the interview process, right? I know many of you would not expect this to take as long, okay? And since I know that candidate willpower is something not easy to find, it was never easy to find. Actually, I thought that, bringing a little bit of awareness of this would be useful. Now, on the positive side of things, if these interviews take longer, you could also use the time for other activities if you so wish, such as to prepare those interviews. Simply because during a candidate-driven market, it was often challenging to prepare those short notice final interview rounds, right? So with the risk so comes rewards, right? This was the first time. The second thing it's gotten more expensive here is because the bar in these interviews is only getting higher. Okay, and it's only normal that in an employer-driven market, when there are fewer roles for more candidates, that the employer can get picky with regards to whom they hire. They could also assign only their best interviewers to screen you in the process, and you could understand how the threshold is only increasing. Now, what does it mean to you? Well, it simply means you have to interview better, and you probably already knew this. However, what you may not be aware of is how do you get from point A to point B? Because beyond a certain limit, the investment into significantly improving your interviewing skills is considerable. Okay, you could take these executives or very senior roles as examples. Many of these are certified coaches. They use other coaches. Many of my clients are certified coaches already. They're essentially people who invest in their interviewing skills. They invest into taking time, getting coached, and various other activities. What happens is that these things could very well apply to more junior types of roles these days. Now, whether you choose to prepare with a friend or with your significant others, but sometimes you have to pay someone to get from point A to point B, to significantly increase your interviewing skills beyond a certain point. And the reason why this is not very popular with many candidates is because not many candidates like to link their interviewing investment, their investment in their interview with the actual outcome. For example, to invest 10, 15, or 20% of your first year's salary into improving your interviewing skills. I know not many of you like thinking this way, but this is something that I find that could very well make sense in this context, and I've also had success with these types of approaches. So long story short, I believe that the key takeaway from you would be that it's getting more expensive to get a job with FAANGs for primarily both the time element. It takes far longer than it used to, but also because of the expectations involved from these things. So there you go. We found this useful, and thank you very much for watching.